This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so on my left hand side here, you're looking at footage taken as somebody was landing in Dubai, and that is the World Resort that you can see out of his window there. And he's zooming in on a vessel there, and that is Ocean Victory. Now, we know that a couple of Russian-owned super yachts have been hiding out in that area since the hostilities began. There are other vessels in Dubai as well, like Madame Goo and some other vessels. But this one here in the video, that is Ocean Victory, still there. No sign of Motor Yacht A though. Anyway, we'll move on to our first story. And this is about a collision with a super yacht, well-known super yacht, high profile, massive super yacht, 116 meter or 380 foot super yacht called Ulysses. Now this vessel was built for a New Zealand billionaire called Graham Hart. He built two vessels. The first one, named Ulysses, was later changed to Andromeda and sold off to a Russian billionaire Yuri Milner. And when he took delivery of this vessel, which he then named Ulysses also, but he later sold this vessel and the buyer was also Yuri Milner, so he now owns both vessels. Now, so the other vessel is called Andromeda. Did I say that? I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, this vessel, as we reported a few weeks ago, has been sat at the mouth of the Panama Canal on the northern side, looking like it's waiting to go through, but it hasn't done that. And I've been told that they have some sort of storage facility in that area, and they often go there to pick up supplies. I can't confirm that myself, but that's what we've been told. Anyway, the vessel was at anchor by the looks of it, and we looked on the AIS tracking. So the other vessel involved in this collision was called the MV Charles Island, which is a reefer ship. No, not that kind of reefer, but it's a refrigerated cargo vessel that normally carries perishable items, hence the refrigeration. And that vessel actually had a Panamanian pilot on board, which is a requirement when you go through the canal. And the vessel was preparing to head through. Now, both vessels looked like they'd been swinging on their anchor for a while, and I think there must have been some sort of misunderstanding there. And I'm told that there was low visibility at the time and they collided. Now, I'm told that there's some damage on Ulysses. I don't know about the tanker, but the tanker has since departed and it has gone through the canal. Now, the tanker is much bigger than the super yacht, so they probably sustain much less damage. But if I overlaid the AIS data here to show you, and it looks like this is when it happened. This is when the collision happened. And like I said, we were told that there was low visibility at the time, which obviously helped for that accident to happen. Now, if we get more information on that, we'll be sure to bring it to you. Okay, now for all of the people who've been subscribed to the channel since last year, you will remember a story that we did on, it seems like a long time ago now, but it was Christmas Eve 2021, and we broke a story that a super yacht called Utopia 4 had collided with a tanker, an oil tanker in the Bahamas. As a result of that accident, the tanker sank. It's a small tanker, oil tanker. Now the tanker delivered oil and LPG to the different islands in the Bahamas. Now, there was a lot of information that came out about this accident. Now, I did a video at the time, and I retraced the steps with a timeline, and it explains everything. I'll put a link above so you can go and watch that video if you want to get up to date on this. There's a lot of new information that is coming out, that's come out recently. So if you want to know more about it, click on that link. The yacht is a 63 meter or 206 foot super yacht. It's a US flagged super yacht. It's owned by J.R. Ridinger, who's a Miami socialite, I believe, and his wife. The vessel was being chartered on Christmas Eve when this accident happened. Now, there's a lot of stuff that has come out since then about the captain's actions. It's in that other video I mentioned. The captain apparently left the bridge. He left an unqualified person on the bridge, which you obviously you're not supposed to do, and that's when the accident happened. Now, after the accident, after the tanker sank, there was another yacht there in the area that came over and assisted and pulled the survivors out of the water. They were in a lifeboat from the crew of that tanker that sank. And then they escorted Utopia 4 back to the port where it had come from, and they had sustained a lot of damage to the bow, as you can see in the footage here. Now, as they were entering the port, the Bahamas Port Authority were heard shouting at the captain, telling him that he needed to turn to port or they was going to crash into the quayside. And what we were told is that one of the other officers took control of the vessel, and it happened late at night, so it was pitch dark at the time, and they have to use the navigation lights as you enter the port, right, so you know where you're going. Since then, the vessel was taken out of the water. It's up in the north of New York, there at a shipyard. It's just gone back in the water after the repairs have been finally done on the vessel. The vessel sat out of the water for a long time. In March, the crew were all laid off. So the owners of Utopia allegedly have refused to pay the crew's salary and also refused to pay medical care for the crew, and a number of the crew were injured. Some of them had serious injuries as well, some of them possibly life-changing injuries. What's happening now is that they're being sued by lots of different people. The vessel's also being sued by a former charter client called Ron Conway. He chartered the boat. This is before that accident, and there is a federal lawsuit ongoing, and I'll put a link below, so if you're interested you can go and find out more about that. Many of the crew members have filed lawsuits against the owner of the vessel. The owners of the tanker that sank as a result of the collision, they're also allegedly suing the owners of the yacht. And also the company that J.R. Riddinger owns is also being sued for allegedly being part of a pyramid scheme. So the costs of the collision are allegedly around $100 to $150 million. And that's including $25 million for environmental damage to the Bahamas government. And now the latest news that's just come out is that the owner, J.R. Riddinger, has died of an apparent pulmonary embolism. So yeah, very sad ending for the owner of that vessel. But according to many different sources, refusal to pay the crew, even the medical costs. We also have previously unseen footage of people on board the vessel at the time of the accident. As you can see, they are thrown across the room. Gives you an idea of the ferocity of that accident. So the vessel was reportedly traveling at around 19 knots at the time of the accident. And we had reports that the visibility at the time wasn't that great, which obviously carries into question why they were doing such speeds. Like I said, go and check out that other video. There's a lot of information in that video also. But yeah, pretty shocking. And that footage of the people getting thrown across the room is quite shocking as well. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any information about any of these stories, the Ulysses collision or this story about Utopia 4, please get in touch. You can get us through YouTube, you can get us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, and you can get us on Threema. Be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell for future notifications. All right, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.